day. Ultimate white close silver.
I don't need to ask for your help in the house families are listed right now.
Figo.
With the pandemic and a surge in pet ownership, and sadly, village. To make matters worse, our costs are soaring too. But we refuse to let animals suffer. So please call or text the number on screen now. Give £2 a month for the RSPCA.
Potete diventare restaurante.
In the toughest times we have ever experienced, your gift will make all the difference to animals. You could help provide more life-saving food, shelter, and the loving care that many have never known. We know there are millions of you who, like us, care deeply and won't stand by while animals are suffering. We have to reach those trapped in a life of abuse and neglect.
La dieta troppo.
Because for many, the RSPCA is their only hope.
Dove c'è prima?
With the support of people like you. So please, will you help us be there no matter what? Call 0800 121 4286 or text RSPCA to 83727. Start your monthly gift today. Thank you.
He stood at the gate with the kitchener saying he's going to stop plagues.
Crime is on the rise.
Come
of the hour. Come of the interceptors. We're riding with West Yorkshire's elite. Alongside their pursuit drivers. On target with their firearms units. In the air with their eye at the sky. This is the front line in the fight against crime. This is Police Interceptors.
It's just another day of paradise.
Max, Saperini.
Max, we should pencil away from head on.
Ok.
Heavy spray in the pitch black. Has driven up the wall, buddy.
No, that's not
Pursuits are meat and drink to the interceptors. A helping of high speed, 100, 100 miles an hour, with a side of risk.
Off-road.
Washed down with serious danger. And meaty pursuits have one thing in common. There's always a man behind the wheel.
I don't think you call once having a pursuit with a female driver. It's very rare. I think the biggest difference is if they've done something wrong, I'd say, they stop and accept the consequences and put their hands up and say, I've been caught. But I think men, it's more bravado, showing off that they're willing to take a risk. And I think a lot of the time it's arrogance. They don't care.
Dawn is breaking. Richardson, hoping he sheds a little light on an uninsured driver in a blue Mini. The early bird catches the worm. Charlie's behind the Mini, ready to pull over its female driver. They bid her good morning with a bit of blue light. She isn't biting, so they try a slightly noisier approach. It looks like they aren't dealing with your typical lady driver.
To take a lot of vehicle available stuff. I'm back at direction. Excellent seconds. We are going to open this way. It is now 5 miles an hour, but it's 30 miles an hour.
She gets off the main road and into the back streets. And Charlie knows that's a big mistake. She's driven into a cul-de-sac with no way out. It looks like game over, but she's not giving up that easy. The Minutes reversed round the cop car and made off. They soon catch up with the dangerous driver, who's now putting her toe down. But there's a stinger unit up ahead and bang, it's bye-bye front tyre. Stingers are designed to let tyres down slowly to prevent the stung car from losing control, so the Mini carries on going.
On to Wakefield Road. Wakefield Road. This way to front half.
Paul and Charlie have now been joined by the sky. She only has 3 wheels on the wagon, but she refuses to stop and rolls on regardless. The Mini is racing towards the M1, to the idea on 3 tyres. Even at this time of the morning, the motorway will be busy, which is a potential danger to other road users. Another car's waiting at the head of the roundabout, which joins up with the M1. And spotting the waiting cop car, the driver pulls her most dangerous manoeuvre next. Charlie and another unit face a close encounter with their fleeing female suspects. The driver will clearly stop at nothing to get away. Thankfully, the nearly flat tyres won't let her put any more lives at risk. She's got cop cars all over her, and she's still refusing to throw in the towel. They slam the door, it's the end of the road. The lady is well and truly nicked, thanks to the teamwork of the interceptors. The driver tested positive for cocaine, was convicted of drug driving, no insurance and dangerous driving. He got 10 months in prison, suspended for 18 months, and must serve a 2-year ban and take an extended test before driving again. So there may be a Mini going cheap in West Yorkshire. One lady owner. Still to come. Car plows into an office block. There's no sign of a driver.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Dan's enraged by drugs in a family car.
Your kid would love to have a bit of that drugs. You don't know what it is, he'll be seriously ill.
Helping young people grow their money confidence. Not about to stop. Or against the day. Somebody say just be 23, eat the six and live that way. You get a real love.
At Money Supermarket, our mission is to help you be better off. That's why we'll give you a £15 reward when you switch your car insurance. And when you keep switching your household bills with us, we'll give you even more rewards. See how much you can save today with Money Supermarket.
Presented in your sensitive treat and delicious food. There were wrapped up in movie nights with Ferrero Rocher.
Life moves fast, and sometimes skin ages even faster. Time to rewind. New Nivea Cellular Age Rewind Serum with new ingredient Epitome. Boosts with skin to help rewind the visible signs of skin aging. Discover new Nivea Cellular Age Rewind Serum. This is my new era of skincare. Nivea is for skin.
The Hogger featuring a very cozy wear with some of the 16. Streaming on Vibe, sponsored by Cinema Heat Tech Duvets.
Every year, 2,500 people are caught drink driving in West Yorkshire. And taking drunk drivers off the road is a 24/7 operation.
Drink drivers can happen at any time of the day, any days of the week. Unfortunately, it's still quite popular, quite rife, really. Something that we need to try and enforce and catch and deal with.
In Leeds, reports are coming through that a car's just smashed into a building. And Richard Jaffa Whiteley suspects the driver may have been drinking.
10 to 4 in the morning on a Thursday morning. Could be. Could have been somewhere to a club, casino or anything.
An advanced driver, petrolhead Jaffa's seen the worst drivers West Yorkshire has to offer during his 17 years as an interceptor. But tonight, even he's in for a shock.
Oh my God, yeah, that's funny.
CCTV shows the car leave the main road at speed, crash through a road sign and a fence, then stack head-on into the building. The driver will be lucky to walk away from this, but there's no sign of it.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
The interceptors need to find out if he's injured. Surprisingly, the driver doesn't have a scratch on him.
Taking you with the driver and that way. How's that happening then?
Okay, I'm too big.
But he does smell of booze.
Right. Have you been drinking?
Yes.
How much have you had to drink?
About 3 pounds.
Right, okay. We're going to do a breath test on you. I can smell it now. I'm a little bit closer to you. Do you think maybe this speed was due to your drinking?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah. All right. And you've had 3 pints of lager?
Yes. How big?
You'll have to face the consequences of if you're over the limit. You've got to learn. You've got to live with that. Deep breath and look. Go. Keep going a bit harder. Keep going. 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 Stop. Stop. You've blown 84. The legal limit is 35.
He's nearly 2.5 times over the limit. That's probably more than 3 pints.
So, at 10 past 4, you are under arrest on suspicion of driving Max over the prescribed limit.
Sorry isn't going to cut it. 1 in 6 deaths on UK roads involve a drunk driver. His apologies are falling on deaf ears.
Drink driving is one of the big fatal flaws that we don't like, that we're trying to crack down on.
Back on the scene, Jeff is unpicking the driver's handiwork.
Gentleman's come out of town, gone round the left-hand bend. On his own admission, he says far too quick. Probably with the intoxicated levels that he's got in him. He's not being able to either stop or control the vehicle going around this corner. As you can see, he's taken out some arrow boards and straight through a fence.
The night in the cells beckons for the drink driver, but Jeff thinks he's getting off lightly.
It's a lucky lad in a way, in lots of ways. He's pretty serious. I mean, he could have seriously injured himself. The airbags have gone off. Somebody would have been coming out of that door at the time that this happened. He could have been looking at a hell of a lot more serious incident, if not a fatality.
And as the driver sobers up, it's starting to sink in that he could have killed someone.
Just have a think to yourself of what could have been and how different it could have been. You know, it could have been any faster. It would have been straight down the hall. It would have been top of the roof through my head, and I didn't know that. Keep going.
Keep back at the neck.
Keep going. Stuff like that.
The driver blows 73, more than twice the legal limit of 35.
Right, we'll go out there and tell the sergeant and then we'll take the next step. There's no place for it in the roads, and the consequences are ridiculous. We could have been cutting him, we could have been going to his family to tell him the bad news, etc.
The repentant man who crashed head-on into a building pleaded guilty to drink driving. He was disqualified for 20 months in order to pay £613 in fines and costs.
From where he's gone from and where he's was going, it's probably about a tenner in a taxi. So I think if you outweigh all what he's done to a £10 taxi ride, I think the taxi ride would have been the cheaper option.
Pulling over a car is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
You're right, sir. Good part of it for the day.
But it's not uncommon for a routine stop to snowball into something more serious.
Still can't false plates. Have you got a driving licence? No, all right.
It's nearly tea time and Bob Foyle and Dan Bell have an appetite for dodgy motors, like the Fiesta disappearing around the corner ahead.
Smooth Fiesta.
The car has a brake light out, so Dan runs the registration through.
He's free, don't give it a no with teeth.
There's no registered owner. The Fiesta is insured to a man in Huddersfield.
How long's insurance been? Insurance from yesterday.
Brake lights on, he pulls in.
Let's see if it's Nazam then, Do it. You come and have a quick chat to us in the car. Turn your car off, bring your keys with you.
There's a woman and child in the back,
Well,
and Dan smells something suspicious.
on the car. Yeah. Well, I've had it. Nearly a year. Right.
So the reason we stopped today is you've had the car a year, you said. What, a year later?
Failing to register a car can result in a fine. Bob's got more bad news for the dopey driver.
Tax ran out yesterday as well. Tax is due.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, we haven't got a logbook, have you?
The car's not registered to any address, so the DVLA will be hard pushed to send the dippy driver a tax reminder.
To be honest, I just had a kid.
Is that your wife in?
Yeah, I've been all over the place.
So speaking of all over the joint, have you ever got any cannabis in the car?
No.
You ever do cannabis?
Dan will take a dim view if there's weed in the car with a kid.
Alright. Does anybody in this car ever have cannabis? Does it smell of cannabis? I'm not saying you do. Yeah.
Dan can smell something iffy, and it isn't the baby's napping.
You know what that is? It's a cannabis growing. There is a little bit of cannabis left in it.
And here's a pot of pot.
You know what that is?
It's not exactly Parent of the Year stuff, and there's another grim discovery waiting for Dan in the back seat pocket.
That's a cannabis grinder. About that far from your kid. You wouldn't want your little kid opening that, would you?
The baby could have suffered serious injury.
How much is that?
Yeah, 2 little bags.
Is that cannabis and
If your mates, listen to me though, I'm just going to interrupt you. Tell me count me on the line. Tell me whether it's your friends, tell me whether it's yours, I don't care. That was about that far from your kid. Yes, seriously. Well, listen, I don't care what the background is, and what I do care is that your kid will see that as a toy, and he would love to have a bit of that drugs. He's not knowing what it is, and he'll be seriously ill. Take aside the fact that there's drugs in the car, and you want to be ashamed of yourself for having that. Right, okay, so I've told your girlfriend that she needs to have a word with you. Good, and I'm good. I'm going to go back and make sure she does.
Even if the drugs don't belong to the driver, Dan's far from happy about where he found them.
But the thing that has really annoyed me is the fact that his little kid is in there, and it's within easy reach of his kid. It's just out of order. His girlfriend, maybe she's storing it up for later. I really hope she is. He gets a monumental telling off from her.
The driver's getting no sympathy, but he is getting a drug wipe to make sure he's not driving under the influence.
you may have had cannabis in your system, so I'm going to ask you for a drug lab test, okay? Okay, thank you.
And it's about to go from bad to worse.
So that's come back as a positive, so you've been arrested on suspicion of being over the specified limit.
Seems reasonable, and there's no time like the present.
What do you think you're playing at? Okay,
He's got a date at the Nick for blood tests, which may be the safest place for him under the circumstances.
Hi, baby.
I'm not fighting for you. You think of, okay,
What started as a routine stop resulted in stopping a drug driver going any further with his child.
Right, thanks for coming, friend.
The interceptors couldn't prove the drugs belonged to the driver, but he did plead guilty to drug driving. He was disqualified for 12 months and ordered to pay a total of £345 in fines and costs. Still to come.
We're just pulling behind you now.
Interceptors swoop on a suspect car on the motorway. The gobby suspect gives Spinner a mouthful.
So, let's run it by one person who expects everyone. Okay, right. Our customer said Sky said that we want £100 for this switch.
Let's do it.
And Sky customers have rolled us their data and keep it for a whole year. Stop that. With Sky Mobile, everyone, and we mean everyone, can expect more of them.
Your dishwasher works day in, day out. If you want everything spotless, you need a dishwasher that's just as clean. Finish dishwasher cleanup, which is a enhanced silk formula targets built on a recent lifestyle to keep your machine performing at its best. As a cleaner machine needs cleaner dishes, a superb finish every time. The Fred Olsen cruise is made of moments. The little ones that simply make you smile, along with those spectacular moments that will make your jaw drop. There are moments that come and go in seconds, and then there are the moments that will stay with you for a lifetime. Moments, brought to you by Fred Olsen Cruise Lines.
By the time this advert is over, her blocked nose will be relieved. Because Sinex nasal spray unblocks the nose in only 25 seconds. It works directly on your blocked nose to open up the airways, to allow you to breathe again. End of advert, start of relief. Big Sinex.
The Listener, featuring a very serene Sally.
You only need bad guys for a living. You're everyone's flavour of the month. And taking abuse
Right, I'm doing a job, go away.
is all part of the job.
Nothing you can say I do that's going to stop it. Finding me or kicking off there.
It's the early hours of Saturday morning. Reports are coming through of a man who was allegedly taking his girlfriend's car. Spenner and Buckers must tread carefully. The suspect's got history.
We have to swatch his back for a bit. Yeah, spell these violence.
Buckers plays by the rules. He's also a fan of Maverick Cop Dirty Harry, which begs a key question.
Looking for vodka.
Do you feel lucky, Buckers? That'll be a yes then. They found the car parked up with two men inside.
Hello, Polly, alright? Yeah, fella. Is it?
It's not clear which man is wanted, but Buckers is taking no chances.
What's walking in? What's on it? What's on it?
The guy behind the wheel has given a false name. Whatever he's called, he's not happy to see the interceptors.
Why don't you try to put me?
It's here.
For what?
There's a block. You can walk at this kind of store.
You've stolen me.
Okay, is it yours?
What for me?
Yours up.
The passenger claims it's his girlfriend's car, and the cops suspect he's the man who's wanted.
What? Come here.
The wanted passenger is off on his toes, with Spenner on his tail, catching up with the suspect. Spenner unloads Harbour in his face.
Now you been and the rest of it. Just protect the car.
Finally, he's nicked.
You got him? Yeah, I've got him here. Police wants to transport them. It's been covered.
Now it's just a matter of waiting for backup.
Yeah, it's been all on it.
Minutes later, more units arrive to take the parted passenger to the neck.
This is who nicked the car. Right. This car then. I'm now not. I'm bloody idiots. Why can't you just come quietly? And this guy's even worse.
Booker's gobby suspect is getting even louder. This is not who you want outside your house at 4 a.m. Maybe an arrest for taking without consent will shut him up.
Yeah, okay, you are right. Speaking of what? So you don't have to say anything. Yeah, something for like.
I'm not getting you, I'm not. Let's see what I do.
It's just turned 5 a.m. Time to spare the good people of Fartown from this charming dawn chorus. This should be a fun drive.
If you give Hughes yourself some, then you'd be on for two.
The next 15 minutes away. 15 painful minutes.
Tell me your address when we get out of the They send you a Christmas card.
Finally, yes.
Got like a PhD in insult, isn't it? What's your...
And the abusive man doesn't let up. On his way inside, at the custody desk,
When you play this age, got this level of aggression sense.
he has a whole lot to say, but still won't say who he is.
First person to control his name.
It's an extremely long night, but finally, Motormouth is in a cell. Thanks to Spenner and his trusty Parva spray, the wanted passenger is also in custody.
I don't want to sit and have a fight with him. So for my own protection kind of thing, I've used that, it's worked. It's gone down like a baby. He's kind of regretted running off and making a run after him then.
No further action was taken against either man in relation to the passenger's girlfriend's car. The runaway, who had a full face of Parva spray, is still wanted on warrant for drugs offences and awaits his day in court. The shouty man was arrested for driving without insurance. However, the charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. When interceptors are faced with rogue drivers who make off, the most effective way to stop them is the T-pack.
T-pack, right? Let's T-pack authority, please.
Tactical pursuit and containment involves boxing the suspect in from the front,
Go first, Seth. I'll go on top side, rear carry.
side,
Yeah, don't behind you, mate.
and rear,
Vehicle stop, thank you.
forcing them to a halt. Teamwork and timing are key.
Get it off, get it off, get it off.
The last thing that we want around the streets of West Yorkshire is high-speed pursuit. That inherently carries risks. Risks to members of the public and risks to the officers involved.
Actually, got a 6.5. I'll just make my way to the top net. What's it done, please?
Dog handler Steve Huntingdon is on his way to back up firearms officers who are following a silver Golf and failed to stop for police the night before.
They're just behind it now on the motorway. There's a couple of cars just plotting up. Finish roundabout that way, just arriving it now.
It's unclear why the Golf made off last night, but a well-planned T-pack should ensure it doesn't give interceptors the slip a second time.
Get at least 4 cars. 3 cars will put a box on it.
Firearms are tailing the suspect in an unmarked car. That convoy is fast approaching Steve's position.
Just
for an update on its location now, but it's gone into losses.
Steve is ex-firearms himself. He still keeps a dangerous weapon in the boot, but it's better company than a rifle. Prime for action, police dog Macy. If the occupants of the Golf make a run for it, Macy will make sure they don't go far.
All we'll do is we'll drop on behind the box and we'll be there in case anything untoward happens.
Oh. Unmarked BMW and traffic units are also lining plates. The target is approaching, and it's all systems go. He wants to avoid the risky pursuit on a busy motorway, so the plan is to take the driver of the Golf by surprise, and they're all set to strike.
Those three cars now. Three cars in front of us, put the box on.
Oi!
A unit behind brings all the motorway traffic to a stop. While the three cars
Obusił z panem.
to box in.
Za 4 gol. Možno 3 gola nazad. Ono, 5. sezona. Двадцать первого года был. Какая серия?
This season, Steve.
Interesting. That should be good. Oh! No moja odpowiedź jest.
We had just reached a good place, and then the pandemic hit, and I get that we're being
A tylko nie znaczy.
Nie muszę tam sobie tego próbować.
Dawaj. O! Jest. Rated.
No. What are you doing?
и ветки. Рус.
Значит, гуакамоле из мультфильма «Гадкий я 2». Держите вам рецепты.
Она вот такая должна быть?
Она должна быть, да, как на картинке, максимально приближенная.
Какой размер?
И плюс-минус голова.
Какое не читаю. Первым делом нужно заняться приготовлением шляпы. Я думаю, у нас получится шляпа.
Шляпа. Вот смотри, что сколько есть. Смотри, у нас есть ингредиенты. Вот так вот выглядит, так что это все присутствует, да.
Давай начинаем. Единственный минус лайк, который тут присутствует, возиться с лесом. Это вот самое мое ненавистное ставить. Там на глаз это все есть. Или сыр, и чили сыр, вот сырый сыр.
Это сам маленький хлеб, мы не будем продавать.
А это уже покупаем. Давай хлеб. Вкусный, внутри нужно. Плесень.
Вот, кстати, мы можем ресторан.
Да, как 8 грамм. Это так. Точно 8 грамм. 8 грамм.
80.
Да, но у нас заняли веса.
Ну, да,
Где написано, что Макс? Где написано, что не ваш?
вот здесь написано. Так. Это коллектив Андрея и Сосуда.
Ну, постоим подожди.
Да, подойдем.
Давай, все.
О, так, что мы паприки, вперед. Поверь, сейчас. Добавить соль, масло, молоко и паприку. Давай, короче, что-нибудь делать, отлично. Столовая ложечка масла. Ты уверен? Вливаем?
Да.
Вливаем?
Нет, давай сначала мы добавим
Сладко? Да. Ну, вот 15 литров посчитаем, что 120 грамм. А паприку сколько нужно? Тоже по вкусу. Чуть-чуть. Это мой вкус специфичный. Так, отлично. Если у нас смешается при помощи лопатки, и все, а потом я остальные замесить.
Попадла, блин.
Поставить кукушку на разогрев до 180 градусов. Теперь приступаем к этому. А вот это приятно. Нет угла, нет угла. У меня что-то часть отслоилась и не хочет смешиваться совсем. Застеливай противень. Надо застелить противень. Приятно. Почему? Да я чуть-чуть забить. Бери прям вот это хорошо. Так, я думаю, что надо разогреть. Просто ожидать. Что, рассказывай, как надо сюда делать? Максимально тонко делать. Короче, нужно прям вот из этого форму шляпы сделать. Покажи картинку шляпы. Вот такая. Ядрить. Вот, смотри, я ставлю формочку. Вот так, правильно? Правильно. Чуть-чуть ее мажу маслом. Правильно? Правильно. Ты там смазал, кстати? Да. Я могу пока соус сделать. Давай. Давай на форму придашь. Края нужны. Да. Они, смотри, что, они сделали вот ту фигню. А дай мне тоже такую фигню. Такую. Ну вот такую. Край? Да. Ну ладно. Так, не готово. Это не будет. Хлопья по вкусу. Ну, возьму его на вкус. А заниматься руками, да? А что, вторая духовка есть? Вот это все есть. А, не будет. Все выключил. Кто из вас выключил? Ты? Это он все выключил. Еще где-то. Снег где-то. Снег где-то. Вот куда стоит. Ну да, красиво. Что, мне вообще нужно раздавить? Да? Ну там, ты что, это меню нет? Или как это, рецепта?
А вот и нет, посмотри на нее.
Привет.
Да. А вот и нет, посмотри на нее.
Да, правильно, да. Меня так зовут, правильно. О. А тебя как зовут хоть? Ну, спрашивай, что ты там. Что ты хочешь?
Опа. А вот и таймер. Ну что, вы скоро будет готово. Я говорю, что а мы с вами можем выдумывать? Ну, так, рецепт. Давай мусором. Кондарасом. Что, прям вилкой? Ну что, видно? Почему? Это же железо, оно полезно. Да, это населенка. Ну, должна быть зеленая. Абсолютно. Попробуй. Пошел. Ты не должен воровать наш рецепт. Я просто не знаю, что ориентироваться, поэтому попробовать вас. Подожди. Я как-то буду хоть... Блин, ладно, я убегу. Я тоже самое сказал. Но оно плюс-минус должно быть готово. Оно вот вышло подпекать.
А, весь нет вылетает.
Попробуй несколько минут. Она в масле еще лучше с выставить, и окей, отвечает, да. Тише. Вот, супер. Дорогие. О, а еще. А где? А потом пошла. Мысли. Вот это что за хрень? Вот это понял, вот эта штука, она расползлась.
Че, блин, опять? Да ты задолбал, блин.
Тюбетейка какая-то. Итак, друзья, наши шляпы, точнее, шляпы из наших алкоголиков, но пока вы не видите алкоголь. Естественно, невозможно, но мы это сделаем прямо перед тем, как создать автомобиль. Можете пока оценить внешний вид. Разный, но я не думаю, что это играет в роль. Обе шляпы, это как обе шляпы. Вот, ну, версию шляпы. Ну что, давай? Попробуем. Я, честно говоря, сам уверен, что я могу такой приготовить дома. Но хоть... Вот прекрасно. Ну и в повседневной, конечно, понятное дело, что это прям излишество по времени трудозатрат. Но вот смотрите, вот единственное отличие с рисунком, вот чуть-чуть толкнуть сделали я, и крэпера, и прям идеально. Но мне кажется, как такой идеальный фото без формочки, без специальной. Ну, наверное, там что-то, что-то лучше без стакана использовать. Возможно. Ну, может быть. Итак, товарищ судья, заходите. Да, иду. Ой, вот это прям похоже, это хорошо. А это не выдумывай, это пирог, настоящая шляпа. Что это, кто-то нарисовал? Так, ну давай попробуем. Он срезал. Не, ну, кстати, важно. Правда, нет, давай попробуем шляпу. Ну, прям такой полный.
Я задал.
А почему там яблоко? Вот это победителя. Спасибо, папа. Старайтесь, на 3 дня, как мы соберемся. Ну, друзья, по первому раунду мы забираем наша яблоко, из наших гуакамоле получилось вкуснее, но не стоит переживать не устраиваться, потому что мы переходим во второй раунд. А вы, кстати, можете написать свое мнение касаемо. Ну, да, друзья, комментарии. Так, посмотрите, следующее блюдо — это обжаренное ломтики мяса из игры «Генушка». Держите это, я думаю, это есть. И удачи. Ну что, теперь у нас блюдо из Genshin Impact. В самой игре оно называется как обжаренные ломтики мяса. Выглядит все достаточно просто. Они восстанавливают здоровье персонажей и помогают идти дальше. И что прикольно, теперь атмосферу игры можно почувствовать в реальной жизни. Самокат появились продукты в стиле Genshin Impact. Берешь чипсы, можно сердить, получаешь ход игры и шанс забрать место. По сути, это как реальный бар. И сейчас, что они нужны полностью в игре. Только действовать нужно быстро, потому что серия ограничена. Привет, у вас снимаю лопату. Одна половина стоила толще, красный перекус, 17 минут, мясо, орехи, соль, перец, сахар. У меня это орехи позволили. Но мы у нас выпила. Перцу, надо 300 грамм. Так, Макс, я предлагаю, давай менять мясо, а я вот нарежу зеленый лук, красный перец.
Так, слегка аккуратненько срезаем лишнюю жировую прослойку, потому что это...
Знаете, такая штука нелюбительная. Многие могут говорить о том, что это за свинина, что это страдать, но обычно всегда срезают, потому что мне просто не нравится страдать это, я все тоже не люблю. Хочешь попробовать, что это будет, чтобы понять, сколько
Ты знаешь, что такая бойдов? Бойдов.
Я знаю, это же... У нас тут для проеда нужно столовое вино. Столовое вино. Я вот много раз эту штуку слышал, но я так и не понимаю, чем оно отличается от обычного. Это мне ничего не нравится. Теперь вот это дело нужно оставить в холодильнике. Прекрасное блюдо. У нас с вами будет со стрелочками. Вот это еще более пацаны, когда как раз вот это вот азиатское, паназиатское. 200 грамм крахмала в бой. В данный момент прикольно попробовать, потому что да, проводится мариноваться. Андрей, что называется? Пожалуйста, я тебя не пойду. Да. После каждого лодки мы начинаем сделать, да, масло, да, на готовность. Вот. Чтобы как с собой. Я всегда дал. Благодарю. В производстве этого блюда, конечно, очень много надо резать. Очень много. Подготовка прям долго. Но я думаю, что когда стоится, я все вырублю, раз. Подготовка всегда будет. Не, вот слушай, она может быть. Что из этого? Да, тут просто нужно такого поворотца и все.
Что тут происходит? Это что такое? Это там что? Пацаны, а что будет, если кипящее масло добавить
Падай! Ближе к финалу вот сюда мы должны уже добавить это. Вот так вот. Ну, это все в пляж. Серьезно, потом. А тогда вот кажется, нормально. Давай разбавим. Ну, здорово. Так, сегодня мы берем интервью у наших оппонентов. Как ваши дела? У нас все здорово. Чистота, доброта, красота. Даже не только такой, просто побыть. Люди все такие добрые, улыбаются. Пока подготовка шейка. Ножки раз, два. Смотри, золотистая корочка появляется. Дамы и господа, все команде кулинарной команды, это диджей был жесткий. А Максута, команде кулинарной команды, это жесткий бак. Друзья, это просто другие вкусные. Просто вкусные. Русян, да-да. Повар Русян, можно вас? Надо. Я не говорю. Должно быть больше. Вот это неплохо. Визуально мне нравится это больше. Сразу не координировать. Я не здесь. Но они пытались. Они второй раз. Если второй, это второй раз будет. Нормально положительный. Так, не важно, не сложно. Это попробуем. Надо вкусно, ну, острый. Прям хорошо острый. Такой острый. А это что? Горяк. Вот это чуть-чуть вкуснее, но в целом вот это вот так. Вот, как голодающий, я видел, как с этими глазами строил, когда мы жарили это мясо. Ну все, есть. Дайте. Нет, намного не вы его перепутали. А что ты так у меня смотришь, я знаю. Я говорю, что это вот так говорит, что мы для тебя готовим. Все, переходим к третьему. Решаем грамотно. Так, и следующее. Финальное блюдо. Это рагу с кролика из фильма «Николец». Все, ознакомляйтесь. Смотрите, подождите. Вы выглядите как логичный крючок. Можно получается сказать, что-то сварить. Не, вы не поняли. Вообще, конечно, инструкция. Ну что, надо резать? Что стоять? Нам нужно вот это. Спокойненько. Два ломтика бекона надо зарезать. Идеально. Просто идеально. Чистить вообще раз. Мы готовим крючево. Какая эстетика? Итак, всю подготовку мы с Максутой организовали. Смотрите, у нас здесь шампиньончики нарезаны, морковка нарезана, бекончик он нарезал, лук нарезали, мясо подготовили. Сейчас это самое сложное. Жарим, варим, томим, еще один. Короче, это самое сложное время затратное. Но если вы все грамотно сделаете, будет вкусно. Надеюсь. Далее, затем добавьте в кастрюлю лук-шалот и начните его обжаривать. Посадите. Да, в кастрюлю. Надо найти пока кастрюлю. Давай. Несмотря на внешний вид, мне кажется, это будет вкусно. Это прям слава. У нас нас подрумянился лук, добавляешь песок. И для пиканта добавьте 1 столовую ложку цельнозерновой горчицы с горкой. Прям с горкой. Да? Смотри, что есть. Это что? Куриный бульон? Откуда у тебя куриный бульон? Давай быстрее, уже кастрюлю все прикипело. Погуляй, разбирай. Там делегатушки это. А вот, знаете, на виду блюда, то в реальной жизни на виду. Смотрите, берем жирные сливочки, 20%. Нам нужно добавить 1,5 стакана. Это получается 300 мл. Ну, это мы что? Да? Да? Берем вот так вот. Это как вот. Ждем 45 минут, проверяем. 5 минут тоже, но мы поставим таймер на 35 минут, ну, чтобы проверить, мало ли случится, и мы решим убежать. Итак, прошло ровно 45 минут, и мы готовы открыть. Открыть и вылить. Блин, у нас опять что-то не то произошло. Но подождите, по цвету-то не то. Здесь, тут в тени, это как этот, как Аня, похож такой. Вот пошла вона. Ля. Да, самое большое. Смотрите, это. И это. Понятно, да? Давай же так поставим. Вот так. Ну, подходит, пробуй. И думаю, что делать. Так. Так, мне вроде одинаково выглядит. Тарелка раз. Не тарелку, это уже то, что в тарелке. А вы сами, вот скажите, вы сами пробовали? Да. Я пробовал. Неплохо. Перехожу люди не пробовали просто, вкусно, сладко, вкусно. Молодец, да, молодец. Ну, все, это мясо уничтожено. Да, они же мало просто кушаешь. Грибочек вы пробовали? Да. Вот здесь у вас еще нет вкуса, самой жучки. Вот все не подходит. Вот это абсолютно, а вот этого здесь не хватает специй. Здесь явно не посадили, поэтому смотрите. Парни, я поздравляю вас с победой. Вот. Нет, что было. Нет. И напоследок, ребята, напоминаю, что коллаборация Герши Импакт и Самокат идет до 28 октября. Заказывайте уникальные сладости, забирайте кофе и шанс выиграть. Ссылочка в описании. Действуйте, пока события. Ну что, друзья, подписывайтесь.
Пока-пока.
Всем привет, дорогие друзья! Добро пожаловать в новый видеоролик на моем канале. И сегодня еще один челлендж. У меня есть два добровольца, которые решили поучаствовать. Вот это. И сегодня их задача будет угадывать еду из Шрека больше, а это был проект, но для начала это идет один. Я говорю, ваши данные только ну, это так ну, тогда давай. А давай я буду бить вчера. Давай его прикладывать. Есть еще сложнее. Сначала вы будете определять, кого реагировать. То есть у вас будет крокодил, у вас что-то будет, а Давай, отлично. Вас хотел бы попросить перед началом поставить лайк под этим видеороликом, если вам понравилось. И а мы переходим к первому блоку.
Макс.
Полина, тут столько вариантов на самом деле. А я могу сказать, что ну ты можешь вариант. Я думаю, что это либо Минипух, либо Маша и Медведь, или Ребят. Либо какой человек. Давайте вы можете прямо сейчас снять маску, если 30 раз, может быть, визуальная составляющая там продукта вам подскажет, откуда это. Вы можете представить написать свой вариант. Он мне, в принципе, а что не может, я сделаю. Евген, ты сюда. Вариант реально плохо. Типа, это может быть только стиль. Да. Давай, вы готовы? Да. Подготовил трекер. Показываю.
Винни-Пух! Как же Винни-Пух?
Первый раунд был достаточно легкий. Мы переходим к следующему раунду. Следующий раунд, как по мне, достаточно тоже простой, но есть люди, которые могут не справиться на самом деле. Вы можете, кстати, уже тестировать, пробовать на вкус и шукать пальцы. Тарелка. Это сладкое. Такой. Вариант прям сразу всплыл по логотипу игры, мне кажется, это было. Я что, лучше проще не брал. Я думал, проще.
Симсы?
уверена, что ты идешь. Может быть, ты сделал так.
Я могу показать? Собственно, бесплатно это кажется.
Нет.
Я скажу.
Конкретно какие соусы
Национальная культура говорит.
этот муж делал этот соус мирового популярности. Нет, а мои не везде. Но будет который это самый прекрасный вариант.
Да, мне 10 наггетсов и побольше человеческого соуса. Максимум сколько сможете выдать? Этот соус просто нет.
И я думаю, что и в этом работе входит в трудом, поэтому переходим к следующему. Так, можете взять попробовать. Жидкие апельсиновые мармелад, если быть точнее. Мне кажется, запах такого сделаешь. Блин, что-то просится, но я не могу вспомнить, что это. И я, кстати, вот данный фильм тоже не смотрел. Я просто не даже вообще вариант. Какого года? Позже 2000? Чем будто бы похож? Позже куда? Моложе? Нет, моложе. Моложе куда? Ну, типа 2016, там, 17, 18, даже. А еще я бы вам хотел напомнить о том, что там покебобы еще были подобные движухи, там, медуз желе дают, вот вроде. Ну, как с ним пока медуз желе было красное, было розовое. А мы медузе не смотрели. У меня есть одно, но я вот не уверен, что... Ты помнишь? Я? Да. Я тоже такой. Но я вообще не верю. Вы оба не угадали. Это Паддин?
Да? Паннингтон, да, я знаю это. Да.
Это анимационный фильм с мультяшными персонажами. Вот у нас есть также анимационный фильм. Подстава. Есть подстава. Ну что, этим раундом мы справляемся. Вы можете написать в комментариях, это нечестно. Напишите, пожалуйста, напишите, пожалуйста, следующий вопрос. Война в Швейцарии. И переходим к следующему раунду. Помните, если я в первую очередь хотели всегда показывать вам самые интересные места. Чтобы не решать на той самой ностальгии, скажу, порекомендовать проблемы. Там как раз не работает там мнение, которое добавили много раз.
Лазанья, конечно, лузей. Я такое знаю, я такое ем. Лузейна. Да.
Серии несколько. А, на Ветрушку? Да. Это сериал? Нет. Да ноль предположения. Вообще ноль. А человек? Ладно, да. Вот. Хорошо. То есть я... Давайте, пишите. Я посмотрю. А я могу вас наводить на гриф? Я вот тоже название не помню. Чуть не дома. Гага. Нет, это уже слишком. Да. Пиши, ты понял? Как же долго. Раз, два, три. Гарфу. Да, наконец-то они это сделали. Спасибо.
Ты что, съел 4 коробки с лазаньей?
Не виноват. Прости меня.
Очень старый. Очень расставлял. Это не мультик, это кино. Да? Можно кому-то, ты варишь мое варенье, необыкновенное. Не подсказывай. Вот сейчас вы подсказочек попрошу. Конечно, вы сам красивый. А не я. Вот. Он спел песню из этой музыки? Мне кажется, он сочинил. Какого года? Старого? Да. Ай, Паша и Витя. Я, наверное, не смотрел. Этот мультфильм создал по популярности на Ютубе. По мне,
Опять этот старина. Ну просто стоп. Да, опять. Маша и медведь. Я помню его. Маша и медведь, ну.
не исправились, но достаточно много времени на него потратили. Переходим к следующему. Я бы хотел давайте даже кто первый расскажет. А тут вообще, ну, сурово. Путина такой, да, я пробовал. Я даже Франции пробовал просто. А ты здесь. Это было я не думаю, что это стоит заставить людей, но только так. Есть потому что стоят это 70 лет. Что это? Пацаны, смотрите, если мне не изменяет память, это упоминалось в каком-то из мультфильмов, но акцентом на этом не было. Это больше, знаете, ну конкретно вот этот рецепт мы нашли в интернете как народное творчество. Люди по названию придумали это. Надо проходить смород? Это полностью. Я бы могу вам дать название коктейля. Давайте посмотрим на фото. Так, как раз она. Одна из них серьезно, не больше? Да, больше. Осел есть? И вообще есть. Есть. А слепый крыс присутствует. Я пишу. Я думаю, Мадагаскар. Так, распределю ответы верну. Правда? Да. Я буду все.
Шрек! Я же догадывался.
Я не знаю, это вот как раз таки где-то вот в паре было. Так, там причем это, знаешь, как упомянуть? Главный диалог прошел, и там на фоне берите по математику, пожалуйста. Не надо. Самое сколько переходим к следующему раунду. Потом было телефон, брать формулы и думать. Раунд, я думаю, будет самый длинный. Это пицца. Это Чикаго. Подожди. Короче. Давайте, вас я думаю, что это не важно. Я не думаю, что это такой такая не, ну, это нет. Это что-то непростительное. Да, такое ощущение, что много где не стало. А именно активно там. Почему? Какой он разум? Рисовка каждый кто-нибудь не разум. Ну, типа того, да. Что-то иногда. А не ну, это не написать, да? Вы можете просто сказать. Черепашки. Я у нас на них обычно
7.
Но глубже изучив вопрос, у каждой черепашки своя любимая пицца. И вот это, если брать именно кадры из мультфильма, они в основном держат свою пиццу, которая вот как раз, знаете, больше ассоциируется с пиццей. Вот картошки, пирожки и так далее.
Пицца.
Вот, поэтому, да, вы правы. С этим правилом справились.
Я догадывался, что там это.
Так, на столе, который стоит подождите. Мне кажется, один демонстрационный, второй для попробования. Это шашлык мясо.
Стейк.
Подошло. Не помню. Так, и сейчас я думаю, немножко снять маску и посмотреть. Вот как раз иллюстрационный вроде. Может быть, у вас не будет. Ну, я так, первый раз уже что было. Прям решил сразу. Я просто себе накапливаю. Давай так. Ну, это первое, что пришло, да? И говорите, не выходи. Я буду говорить, что говоря. Вот что. Давай, это просто так. Это будет по возрасту. Да, и нет. Персонажи, люди, животные, когда полные Олег? Олег, да? Нет, нет. Если бы было Олег, то Бэмби? Нет, называется я. Не было видео, которого воровали. Нет, это не лесная тропа. Это серийная, нет? Да. Это несколько частей. Несколько частей. Акцент сильный на мясе? Пару стресс хороших каких-то. За счет чего-то помню. Уже понимаю, что я не прав, потому что я могу его очень от ветра его снимаю. Я есть предположение, что может быть такое, отца, школы, на две, пустые, а там бежали такие. Нет, еще раз рассказывать, что в мультфильме, это кусок мяса называли не как стейк, немного иначе, но по факту это мясо. Кусок, наверное, мне кажется, это будет очевидная подсказка, если бы что-то смаковали. Главное, даже кушать один из них. Второй вообще не был. Второй вообще не был. Он теряет, третий не ел. Окей, такая подсказка. Вот главный персонаж, который очень любил есть мясо, из-за его отсутствия показалось, что его друг не любил. Я понял. Ну, слишком подсказал. Я считаю, что он убил. Это Мадагаскар. Я больше на том же не знаю. Нет, вопросов нет. Том и Джерри тоже стоит, там тоже есть стейк. В параллели не было стейка. Ну, такой раскол. Во-первых, у меня нет да, у него, во-первых, он постоянно чувствует, но по факту это будет кусок стейка. Вот, то есть, ну да, вот такая вот. То есть, все запутано. Ну, приходит домой, смотрим, но, как бы, что, есть какие-то другие варианты? Да? Какие? Дота. Этот раунд не особо успешный, переходим к следующему. Перед нами находится последний. Советую вам есть одну штуку, а потом уже посмотреть что-то о чем-то вам. Это диктор мнений на алкоголь. Да, или ну, первое, что такое, вот, большая, жирная, слишком легко, что-то слишком задумал, ну, я прав, что, а что? Не показывает Андрюха, это ты понял? Реально сильно у них того стоит. Ну, типа того, интерпретация другой стране. Плюс, так сказать, главный герой, но это не человек. Давай старым. Нет. Новый, да? Личный учет. Он же абсолютно не знает. Но типа не больше ему лет. А по идее 2008 года получается. Свой реально?
Если сказать, кто озвучивал данного персонажа, то, конечно,
я не помню, что да, Михаил был. Ну, давай напишу, да? Но я прав, я. Да нет, ты не видишь. Понятно, не знаю. По-моему, да, консультант. Это правильно, и это тоже правильно. Теперь я знаю секрет твоих дел. О, есть охота. Пока ты сразу это понял. Я прям вспоминаю шифу, остался за в общем, вот такой видеоролик у нас получился. Никто не веселый, если интересно. Надеюсь, вы вместе с нами в комментариях пытались угадать, какие мультики. Если загадываете, пишите обязательно, если отгадали. Если вам понравился видеоролик, не забывайте ставить лайк, подписываться на канал. Всем большое спасибо. И до просмотра. Всем привет, дорогие друзья! Добро пожаловать в новый видеоролик на моем канале. И сегодня вас ждет селфи. Шаурма из рандомных ингредиентов. Ура! Что вы пробуете? Я думаю, что там такое весело будет, что нам будет самим интересно попробовать. На нем есть ингредиенты. 50% хороших ингредиентов, 50% хреновых ингредиентов. Наша задача сейчас прокрутить 4 этапа колеса фортуны, чтобы выбрать мясо, овощи, соус и дополнительные ингредиенты. И, собственно, из этих ингредиентов, которые мы выдали, приготовить шаурму. Вот такая вот заготовка. Тогда перед тем, как мы начнем крутить колесо фортуны, поставьте, пожалуйста, лайк.
Station 19 portrays a fictional post-pandemic world which represents
Футбол?
The Women's Wrestling World Cup, live on BBC Group.
Welcome to Match of the Day.
Evening, just like an Ashley Williams tackle, we're a bit late this evening, but hopefully it's worth the wait with 8 games on the way. Shane Given here as well. First, a 4th straight London derby to start the season for Chelsea, who were going for a 3rd straight win when they went to Brentford. Steve Wilson was at this one.
Separated by Hammersmith and Chiswick, around 6 miles as the crow flies, or an hour's drive if you're unlucky. Meetings between Brentford and Chelsea were scarce until recently, but Chelsea haven't lost a game on Brentford soil since 1938. 2 changes to the Brentford 11, which lost late on at Sunderland, and a change of formation. Mikael Damsgaard is ill, big blow that. Matthias Jensen comes in, Ouattara drops to the bench, and Ethan Pinnock starts in a back 5. Chelsea make 4 changes to the side, which beat Fulham. Delap, Esteban, Cucurella and Gusto are out, so in comes Fofana, Harto, Gittins and Buonanotte for a Chelsea debut. Brentford have lost 2 of their opening 3 Premier League games for the first time. If he controls that, oh, he's done absolutely brilliantly. Here's Schade. What a fabulous touch from Igor Thiago that was. He absolutely meant that. He executed it perfectly. Schade with the opportunity, which was a little bit smothered by Tosin. It's 45 today, Keith Andrews. Happy or not? Oh, given away by Chalaban, he's lucky. Yarmouth couldn't take it in his stride. Enzo Fernandez is Pedro Neto. Little flip ball, looks promising. Very good defended by Keone. That play on. Henderson. Now, if that reaches Schade, he's in. It's a brilliant ball. Kevin Schade for Brentford. Into the net. Brentford into. No reflection, I think, on the Schade. Effort flipped off Tosin. But what a pass from Henderson. From one end of the pitch to the other with one brilliantly judged pass here by Jordan Henderson. Fabulous ball. It's definitely a deflection of Tosin, which didn't help Robert Sanchez. It's Brentford 1, Chelsea 0. Well, to some degree, you would say that the goal has gone against the run of play, but Chelsea didn't create a whole host of opportunities for all their possession. Still time, though. That's beautifully done. Buonanotte wriggling into the penalty area, and that's deflected on its way wide from Enzo Fernandez. They nearly found a way here. Buonanotte to Enzo Fernandez behind for this corner, which will be pretty close to being the last action of the first half. Enzo Fernandez delivery, it's come off some woodwork. Picked out by Jensen. Well, here's how the ball ended up hitting the Brentford post. Direct from Enzo Fernandez corner. So Enzo Maresca is making a triple change at half time. What a lively first 5 minutes in this second half. Pedro Neto squeezing it through. Somehow it reached Tyreek George. George goes for goal and it's pushed away by Kelleher. Brentford thought there should have been an offside flag here. I suspect Coyote was putting him on, and Kelleher has made a good save. Schade. Yarmanu. Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, João Pedro, lovely little pirouette, and a smashing ball as well. Gittins, Pedro Neto, Tyreek George, in the boxes, Cucurella, and Kelleher's there. Lovely Chelsea counter that. Lovely weight on that pass. Cucurella took it up. Tested Kelleher, but not enough. They need a bit of respite, Brentford. Enzo Fernandez, ball in, and Palmer! Boyd taken up brilliantly. Cole Palmer back with a sweetly taken goal. The pressure built and Chelsea's inspiration struck. Brentford 1, Chelsea 1. Only been on the pitch for 6 minutes. And that's the difference he's made. Here's Igor Thiago for Brentford. Matthias Jensen has managed to get onto that. Schade! Tipped around. Good save. Almost an instant repulse. Schade's hit and Sanchez really stretching. Rico Henry here. Now Pedro Neto might have an opportunity. Great acceleration from Pedro Neto. Still going. And Cole Palmer, what a great save. Palmer can't believe he hasn't scored. A big, big opportunity that's gone away from him here. Well, it's a very good save. But Palmer will be very disappointed that he gave Kelleher any chance at all. Well, that would and probably should have been his 50th career club goal. Slightly careless clearance that. Straight to Luis James. Palmer. Garnacho. Running at Hickey. Oh, well. The shot comes in from Caicedo. He hammers Chelsea in front. Rises Caicedo for Chelsea. Well, it's pretty difficult to hit the football more sweetly than that. It was a great shot. Just the sheer precision and power. And Chelsea have come from behind to lead. Brentford 1, Chelsea 2. Henderson. Brentford throw. And Schade can launch them. And he will. And that could go anywhere. It's going in. Carvalho has equalised for Brentford. 3 minutes into stoppage time. Well, it's a brilliant throw. And the long throws are a thing again. Flicked on. Chelsea didn't deal with it. And Fabio Carvalho tapped into the net. Brentford 2, Chelsea 2.
That'll feel like a weird birthday present as well.
Fai detto lì.
Today. Great to get a point from that.
Spesso si un Dublin. Tanya Kanota. Atwali. Я не окно. Нет, я же не хочу окно мыть. Что за... Заставлю досками, доска стоит. Задолбал.
Manage a little bit better, the moment of the game. But yeah, at the end we conceded and we lost 2 points.
Fabio, many congratulations. You'd only been on the pitch, I think, for a couple of minutes. Nice way to finish the game.
Unbelievable. Obviously, everyone likes a lot on the goal. And yeah, I'm just grateful that I got it today.
Is this going to be the season of the long throw? If it is, you've got 2 guys who know how to do it.
Listen, it's been here for numerous years. It's not new to us. In big Champions League games, it was quite prominent, and I felt that would naturally just trickle down the footballing pyramid, and it's certainly been the case. I think there's a little bit of snobbery in the game around scenarios like that, but the big boys do it.
Bring back Dave Challoner.
Always good to get Dave Challoner and Rory Dillap mentioned on match day. He is right, though, isn't he? There is a snobbery in the game at the moment around the long throws. There have been a few articles this week that the long throw is back, and it certainly was for Brentford.
Yeah, I think it's refreshing or something. You know, it's all
the coaches, it's the tactical geniuses they're supposed to be as well. But sometimes the old school throw it in the mixer, cause a bit of carnage, and of course we've got a late egoist today, and probably, as Keith says, deservedly so.
And they had there were several sort of instances where Chelsea had warnings before the goal went in.
And they didn't heed the warnings. You see Coyote, it says on one side. Again, it's this sort of melee they created the near post. It's, a lot of the time, Mark, for me, it's not the first sort of connection, it's the second one. And you see again from the other side, it's the same guy. But look, if you keep around the two number 8s, you know, Jensen and Fernandes, watch the way Fernandes just runs up. If that's flicked on again, he's free around the back. So that's one more. You could have picked a few more. Again, shadow on this side. Again, the near post area is there's defenders, there's attackers. Keep an eye on Garnacho and Lewis Potter on the back. Garnacho, I know, is an attacking player, but this is his warning mark. Carnage there. If that's flicked on, the last minute. Again, for me, you know what's coming. Ayers at the near post, and Collins, a few more of the big guys in the near post, the defenders, with keepers. But keep an eye on Garnacho and Carvalho at the back again. All Garnacho's got to do is mark his man. He doesn't score. He switches off. It's too late. And again, very rarely you score from the initial. Look, his body shape's all wrong. Garnacho is watching the ball. He should be glued to Carvalho, man to man. Get tight. Don't let your man score. He switches off, and then he reacts after, but it's too late. It's in the back of the net. It's poor defending, but give Brentford great credit.
Shane's pointing the man running off the man on the back post. Just from a centre half's point of view, how difficult are long throws to defend?
It is weirdly difficult, and I think I put it down to, you know, the day before a game, you always practice attacking corners, free kicks, defending corners, free kicks. Not often do you practice defending a long throw. So it seems simple as a goalkeeper or as a defender, just go and head it. But I think because it's coming in from a different angle, it creates a lot of chaos, as we're seeing here, and it's something that probably teams should be working on a little bit more, especially if you're playing against Brentford.
Well, do you feel more panic as a goalkeeper from a long throw than a corner?
Well, he said nightmare with Roy the Lab, but still, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, because that was a real rocket, and Robert Hoof and Ren, you know, Shawcross would come up and pile over the keeper and get in. But again, they were sometimes scored direct from that first, which I talked about and sort of contradicting myself. But again, a lot of the times,
not for the first time.
Not for the first time tonight, I might add, but it's lots of times the second connection and the guys around the back, you know, people switching off, watching the ball, and he just drifts off, and it's a goal.
Steve said it in commentary. Chelsea had a lot of possession in that first half without really creating a lot of clear-cut chances. That's the substitutions in the second half, and one in particular changed that.
Yeah, and it was Cole Palmer was the difference. He nearly stole the show for Chelsea. Buonanotte didn't really have an impact on the game, but this man come on, and his quality was shining throughout. He come on the 56th minute, had 5 shots, the most in the game. But you see, this is just clever play. He expects where he's going to drop, and let's not underestimate that finish at all, because it's so tempting to just put your foot through that, but he just guides it into the corner on the half volley. That's the difference in quality that he's got. And then he started to do this. He started to get in between the lines of the midfield and the defensive line, create problems for Brentford. He wins a free kick there. This is what he can do, get himself out of a tight area, and that's a really clever pass to Pedro, who's clever as well, nearly creates another goal. But this is that gap again where he gets himself into. It's difficult for defenders. You can see him checking his shoulder. Just as you think he's got another goal, but that's probably down to good goalkeeping. He thinks he just took it in the corner. Right at the end here, if you want it to fall to any player, it's him, and he probably doesn't connect.
He drifts, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's so clever at it. He just moves so slow across, but he knows where. He will always know where he wants to get it. Even if the ball's over on the left, he will then just pull out into an area where it can get circulated back to him, and that's how you find so much space.
Next, Ange Postecoglou's first game in charge of Nottingham Forest. It was at Arsenal, and Jonathan Pearce was there.
Ange Postecoglou says he has nothing to prove. Certain Forest fans...
Forest? Arsenal.
This is a tough baptism. He's hardly met some of his new players and never been Arsenal in charge of Tottenham. Gabriel Eze makes his full Gunners debut, as does another summer signing Christian Mosquera, and Martin Odegaard proved his full recovery from a shoulder injury, with 2 games for Norway in the break, scoring in 1. Saliba is sidelined after injury at Liverpool. Rice and Martinelli are rotated to the bench after exhausting international demands, and David Raya plays his 100th game for the club. 111 days after naming his last Tottenham side, Ange Postecoglou is forced to make one change in his first Forest selection, with Olof Eimer injuring a hamstring on international duty out for a while. Morata starts for the first time since May the 11th. Remains to be seen if the defence can cope with a Postecoglou highlight
Milenkovic could only keep up with England's Harry Kane by hauling him down in the week to get a red card. Arsenal won the last 6 home games against Nottingham Forest in all competitions. Free kick here to Arsenal. Now by Wood. On the back of Gabriel. Odegaard with the free kick. Sent in deliciously. Comes here, big chance, good save by Sells. Danger not over yet. And Sells rescues Nottingham Forest from the effort from Marino. Forest looks to break. Arsenal got a player down. It's a lovely save by Sells, made himself very big. Alert goalkeeping now. Arsenal will be concerned here. Hit the ground hard on that shoulder. It's a shoulder injury that forced him off against Leeds. Tried to go on. It's a real shame for them. Adueke. Brilliantly done. Still going. Pushes it in. Looks for Timber. Super defending. Marino it was. Threw his body in when he needed to. Adueke with the corner. Just over half an hour played. Headed away by Woods. To give Arsenal the lead. Well, they've chased him for a long time. They finally got him in the summer. It's a terrific strike. And Arsenal deservedly ahead. I'd have just skimmed the head of Murillo on the way through. But it's Zubimendi's goal.
Ну, пусть 2 этажа.
How will Nottingham Forest under Alex Postecoglou react? Anderson spinning away from Zubimendi, looking for Chris Wood, gets it back. 7 minutes of stoppage time and out. Gibbs White into Wood, looks for the return. That's Forest's best move of the game, and Timber did just enough for Arsenal. The frustration of Morgan Gibbs White, good move. Lovely little give and go, led the ball to Wood, took it back. Annoyed with himself, that's a big chance for Forest. No further changes at half time. As we said, the loss of their captain Martin Odegaard has severely hit Arsenal's rhythm. Played long by Calafiori, and Eze's got it behind here. And he puts in! And Victor Gyökeres gets his third Arsenal goal in his 4th appearance. Additional time was 46 seconds after the restart. Beautiful ball play forward by Calafiori. Defender gets it all wrong, loses it in the air. Eze first time cross, perfect for a centre forward on a plate. Arsenal as it stands, top of the Premier League. There's Calafiori. Just dwelt on it. Anderson can get the challenge in. Anderson has stayed down. He rolled over on his ankle. Doy chips it towards goal by Wood. Brilliant improvisation. Get the woodwork. That's a full clearance. Redeemed by Mosquera's challenge to deny Hudson-Odoi. And Forest, well, I dare not say freakishly, nearly back in the game because Chris Wood knew exactly what he was doing. And Postecoglou's side very nearly back in the game. Milenkovic coming deep. Enjoy. Gabriel just too strong for him. Just too strong for him. Arsenal at the moment look very comfortable again. Gyökeres, Eze making their run inside. Well played. He's put in Adueke. Gyökeres on the outside now. Well, when he did it, it's the woodwork. That is terrific centre forward play. Started it off. Found Eze one on the outside. Cracked it against the post. He worked so hard for that.
Are you Tottenham in disguise? It's the song on the lips of the Arsenal fans. Forest in the same colours, and managed by the former Tottenham boss. Well, he knew this was going to be a difficult opening game as head coach of Nottingham Forest. Lots of summer signings to integrate. He hasn't had any time with them at all. There'll be a yellow card here for Williams. Now, both Forest left backs today. Morata in the first half. Williams, when he took over from him, have really struggled. Thinking Noni Madueke's form, any fullback would have struggled. Quick free kick taken. Here's Rice. Trossard's first touch off the bench. A delicious cross in. Zubimendi has the second. The first was an absolute bullet, and the second is a Martin Zubimendi header. You don't see many of them. Not yet far as well beat. Trossard's first contribution off the bench was a lovely cross. And that's Postecoglou has big work to do. It's an impish cross. It's a lovely header. Little deflection off Williams, looped it up over the goalkeeper. 3-0 Arsenal. Deservedly so.
We have a lot of uncertainty. The boys have been out for days traveling the world. Only one day to prepare the match without an kick-off. Uncertainty about what the opposition was going to do. And even with those conditions, the team, I think, performed really well. A lot of new relationship on the pitch that you can start to see how they flourish. And 3 goals, a clean sheet, 3 points, so all very positive.
Yeah, I thought the players carried everything they could. They tried. They had the right kind of endeavour. The second goal, sort of pushed the game away from us. It's been a really disruptive week for the players. We understand it. I'll try to sort of keep things really simple this week while we have one training session together. But hopefully from now on we can sort of start being in some of the principles we need to. Great combinations in the wide positions. Both wide players play very well.
Both of them, I think they were terrific. A real threat with their own quality, so different in the way that they create danger, threat and unpredictability to the opponent, but very pleased.
Ezzy's tricky, isn't he? Madueke is like an old-fashioned winger, really bang, goes for it.
Yeah, that's what I said, that they are very different. We need to use them because it will require different profiles around them as well to maximize the qualities that they have. But they are both in a good moment.
Very direct. Is that what Mikel tells you to be direct? Just take them on, take them on, take them on.
That's the only way I really know how to play, to be positive every time I get the ball. Try and find my teammates and, job of a winger is to go past the fullback and try and create as much as possible. So that's what I try and do every time I step on the pitch.
Well, Arteta eulogising about his wingers today, and in fact, the front three are real combinations, didn't they?
Yeah, you can include Gyökeres in that danger zone for Arsenal staff. I thought that was really impressive from the start of the game. As we know Eze's quality, but now we're seeing it in an Arsenal shirt. He can just go past his man with ease. The game seems so simple for him. I really liked Madueke today. He was so positive and aggressive. He gave Morata a tough game. You just standing up. You can kind of see they're looking for Gyökeres already in this early part of the season. But here he's only got one thought in his mind. Can I get to that byline, which is such a dangerous place for a defence when they're going to play gets there and he puts it back. It's unlucky. And then Eze, what I like about him is he can go inside or outside. So as a fullback, you're pretty stuck here. He's getting to the byline as well, getting in there. Same man Gyökeres is looking for. It must be a dream for a striker to play with. Then you get this just after half time. One pretty simple ball. That's perfect. That's a perfect pass on the half volley across where Gyökeres gets his goal. And then this is just another example, just of the link-up play between the three of them. And already they're finding that bit of chemistry. You can see that they're enjoying playing with each other. Gyökeres continues with his run. Madueke waits, slips him in, hits the post on that one. Madueke again now second half. It's Nico Williams is up against him. And when you think that maybe he took too long to move over, I think he knows exactly what he's doing. Slows it up, waits for Timber, and then Declan Rice, he goes with his left foot there, he's probably going to go.
Do you like the fact that they're slightly different as wingers, the two of them? As Jonathan said in the interviews, that Madueke is probably a bit more direct.
Yeah, so they're similar and different, if that makes sense, because they can both go past the player with ease. But Madueke seems to be a bit more aggressive in the way that he attacks his fullback, whereas Eze slows it down a little bit and just glides past fullbacks. But both of them, I think, for Gyökeres are going to be great this season.
It's such a game where you really saw the benefits of Arsenal's transfer window today, wasn't it?
Well, he has spent a lot, but the likes of obviously Saka there, went off injured today. Saliba missing, Jesus, Havertz is out as well. So, again, the strength and depth now, which they have Champions League, Premier League, this is probably the strongest squad I think Arteta has had. It really has. This is their opportunity, I feel, to win the Premier League this season. If they can keep the majority of this squad fit, you know, even Zubimendi today scoring a header, that's a rarity, isn't it? But 2 goals for him as well today. He's built a really strong squad. He must believe, and they must believe, this is their year.
You see there on that graphic, the first 5 of their most expensive signings this summer, all starting today. Just as far as Nottingham Forest are concerned, and then Postecoglou, this is not the game in which you judge what difference he is going to make. This is going to take time.
No, I think today he was probably just looking really to see what he's got. He wants to be around him. He hasn't had enough time to judge him. But what will be interesting is in 3 or 4 weeks how he sets this Nottingham Forest team up. Does he go back to the way Tottenham started last season, or is he a little bit more reserved than what the Forest team are used to and have got a bit of glory recently?
Right, West Ham secured a much-needed win at Nottingham Forest last time out. Tottenham, their visitors today. Simon Fullerton, watch this one.
No half-and-half scarves and no half measures either in this feisty London derby. West Ham make one change to the side that won at the City Ground last time out. Crescencio Somerville starts with Nicholas Füllkrug on the bench. Mohamed Kudus returns to the London Stadium for the first time since leaving in the summer. New signing Xavi Simons makes his Tottenham debut, but Randall Kolo Muani starts on the bench. Lucas Bergvall and Matthijs Tel both come into the side. West Ham looking to get back on track at home after their disastrous performance and result against Chelsea here in their home match just a few weeks ago, beaten by 5 goals to 1. Mohamed Kudus. Start going to ground a little too easily for Jarrett Gillett's liking. Here's Walker Peters into Lucas Paqueta. Now Bowen and Peters. Walker Peters continues his run. Good play. Mateus Fernandes. It's Lucas Paqueta. It's just wide. Best move of the match in the early going there from West Ham. And Lucas Paqueta unable to guide the ball inside the far post. You look to the Tottenham board, prominent among them there on the right, Vinay Venkatesham, the CEO. Romero. Inch perfect into Simons. Try and tee it up there, and it takes a deflection off Max Kilman and behind for a corner kick. Goodness with the corner, and headed home, it's Christian Romero, and it will not count. The referee said it was a shot. And then Fernandes with a little push on Van der Ven, who then for officials penalised, but it was interesting, there was a sort of movement from behind Mickey Van der Ven that nudged him forward. Somerville gets away from Pedro Porro. Fernandes back into Somerville, keeps it clear of Palinha. Walker Peters. Now Jared Bowen. And the deflection almost carried it into the gloves of Vicario. Van der Ven and Romero, not quite in the manner that they intended, get the ball back into the gloves of Vicario. Matthijs Tel getting the better of Sojek. Space for Lucas Bergvall. Support from Jed Spence striding forward. And already at the start of the second half, Tottenham with another corner. Xavi Simons. And a header from the far post from Matthijs. This time the goal will stand. And Tottenham have the lead that they thought they'd got during the first half. And Pat Matassar, who will be 23 tomorrow, celebrates with a goal in the London derby. West Ham looking for a quick response. Hernandez sending it in. Bowen, and still. Oh, and it shuts. Evades Vicario, who manages to push it behind. The three relegated clubs last season won fewer points at home than West Ham. Behind again here at home. Followed by Spencer as far as Stoker, who is stretching for the ball, catches his opponent, straight red card. Charpalinia on the end of it. And referee Gillett took about half a second to make his mind up there. Didn't like what he saw at all. And immediately brought out the red card. And Thomas Souček, in stretching for a challenge there. Well, you can see where he caught his opponent. West Ham, a goal down and a man down. And we have 35 minutes still to play. The good news as well, by the way, there, Charpalinia is up and about. Romero sending it forward. Birdwell, oh, it's brilliant, and it's 2-0. Sensational. It's perfect delivery from Tottenham's captain, Christian Romero and Lucas Birdwell. West Ham caught cold. A man down and now two down. In the blinking of an eye. And this match is suddenly running away from the home side. In complete control at the moment. Spence enjoying plenty of time inside West Ham's half of the field. The longer the game wears on. There's the corner on the far side. At the moment, West Ham heading for a 7th Premier League match at home in a row without a victory.
Разметку сделай.
Alinia into Birdwell, score of the second goal. It's through. Mickey van der Ven. And it gets worse and worse and worse for West Ham. What an away day for Spurs. And they are set to be emphatic winners of this London derby. And the home crowd are departing in droves. And it has all come undone for West Ham in the opening 19 minutes of the second half. Conceding 3 goals and having a player sent off. Birdwell, Van der Ven, 3-0. And West Ham United have now conceded 11 goals in their opening 4 matches.
Sometimes the game can change, momentum can change after half-time. We just kept going and scored a brilliant goal from the goal. And yeah, of course, the red card helps, of course, but I felt we've done it, you know.
How are you finding it working with Thomas Frank, the new manager, and a new voice to listen to in the dressing room?
Well, it's been really good. As you can see today, we play really good football and win 3-0. So yeah, it's been really good. Just trying to be better every day, training hard to develop.
How enthused are you with what lies ahead in the next few days? I mean, Champions League, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Your job, ultimately?
I think it's we need to do well in Premier League. I said that the whole time. We need to see if we can compete in all tournaments. But now, we finished, happy with a win. Now it's all about the game.
Well, it's disappointing that the second half turned out the way it did, because one mistake and then we're 1-0 down, and then we have a red card, and while we're adjusting with 2, and then pretty quickly the game goes away from you, and then you can say whatever you want then because the scoreline's 3-0, and I don't think it tells the real reflection of the game, but at the same time it does because the scoreline's 3-0.
Well, when you stopped playing, you were a set-piece coach, weren't you? So you've done the long throws, and now you're going to look at Tottenham threat from corners.
Well, I think Thomas Frank at Brentford as well was the same. He puts a lot of effort into the set plays. I think this, talking about flanking, it's a bit like the Arsenal setup. They load the back post. Hermansen, you feel it's struggling early as well in the box, and they're putting a lot of bodies around the goalkeeper here. And you see the setup here. I think it's tails free around the back. Romero and Van de Ven's the main sort of targets in under that crossbar. It gets whipped in heavily under the crossbar. Now the ref sees the foul here. For us, we looked at it numerous occasions. We don't think it's a foul. Yes, they're coming together, Romero and Walker Peters. But for me, I don't think there's enough in it. I know VAR had a look and they stuck with the on-field decision as in the referee, but we see that in the box all the time. Yeah. And if we see that, I think that for me, they're unlucky not to get a goal. Now this is the next corner comes in again. They load it with 6 in the box, 2 on the edge, and load it around the back again. But watch this time Fernandez and Van de Ven. If he gives a foul for Walker Peters, how is this not a foul on the back? It's literally rugby tackling to the floor. So if you're looking for consistency, for me, that's a penalty. And again, the setup around the box, and this is obviously the goal. Sarr is free as a board. He's standing there like not a ball, as if he's not even playing in the same pitch. No West Ham player at any stage has a look at Sarr inside the box, and he can't believe he's look at this. No challenge. He can see it all the way. Have some of that. It's such a simple goal.
Is it not weird that you've highlighted the two things in the first half, which has caused them problems, and they do the same thing in the second?
Well, again, a set play coach would have to do the attacking set plays and the defensive stuff. So at half time, the West Ham set play coach would go, hang on a minute, we've got a problem around the back here. We need to seal that off, and that for me is not good enough. But also, a valid point, but as a player on the pitch, once it's happened once or twice, I don't really care what you told me before, because now it's changed. I need to change in real time and make a call. And if we're all at the front post and they're loaded at the back, why don't you make an adjustment?
Tottenham's strength in depth, particularly in the forward areas, has all of a sudden become quite frightening. Often managers talk about wanting to have 2 players per position. Spurs, you could argue, have 3.
Yeah, really strong squad, especially in those attacking areas, as you said. I think they've got a serious argument to say they're going to be in the top 4. They're pushing for the top 4. They've got a good manager. Really, really like Thomas Frank. As you said, if they get an injury or something happens, someone's dropping form, the next man's up or the next man's up. They've brought Xavi Simons in and Kolo Muani to really what they already had. So they're looking strong. I think if you're a Tottenham fan, you've got to be a little bit excited.
And if you're a West Ham fan, it's the complete opposite, isn't it? They've conceded 8 goals at home in 2 London derbies so far. It just looks flat.
It's a mess. And I think that the problem for Potter is he finished last season very poorly as well. People said judge him on this season. He'll have a pre-season. He'll have to get his methods across and get his players. And again, it's such a poor start. So you can see after the pressures, I think, mounting on Potter for sure.
You'd agree?
Absolutely. And even when they cut to him in the game, he doesn't look like he has the answers. He just seems a little bit baffled on the sideline.
To St James's Park and the start of their new strikers era. Wolves, the visitors. Commentary from Galmo.
Alexander Isak has gone. Johan Wissa isn't fit to play, which means all the Newcastle attention today falls on Nick Baltimore. The club's new record signing seems to have just the personality to revel in that. Amongst 5 Wolves changes, including goalkeeper Sam Johnson in for the unwell Jose Sarr, there are debuts for Ladislav Krejci and Tolu Arakadari. £24 million worth of striker, signed from the Belgian side Genk. Wolverhampton Wanderers will get the afternoon underway on Tyneside. They will be desperate to avoid a club record today as they go close very early on. Deflected behind for a corner. Well, that was scintillating from Vitor Pereira's team. Straight from the start. Rodrigo Gomez had got in down the left. Wolves had a corner immediately. Another opportunity, and Nick Pope has to spring into action. This is brilliant for Wolves. Chance got a good record against Newcastle, isn't it? Even better there. Prior to this weekend, Wolves have been behind for 81.5% of their Premier League games this season. Altamada teeing up the shot, and what a push from Timberland. Jacob Murphy, who went closest than any Newcastle player to scoring at Leeds 2 weeks back, has been the closest that any of them has today. Lovely ball.
Richie. Another good ball. Number Kadare. At his measure. Gibraltar loses out. The Richie. Through the gap goes Rodrigo Gomez. And then snatched at the shot. A little bit maybe overconfident there, Bruno Guimaraes. Perfectly confident, Rodrigo Gomez. Brilliant the way he got between two. Brilliant with the finish. I think we'll be reasonably content with certainly the way his team are going about their task today. Missing the finishing touches. Livramento lands on the inside. Livramento down the outside. Go Bueno. Wins the battle. It is at the cost of the throw. Boys on each other. Kadari and Boltomada. And towards Boltomada, the block was Murphy. And that's a brilliant stop by Sam Johnston. Pure reflex. You must have thought he was going to score. Should have lent it is who knocks it down. Johnston in the right place. The challenge of Mosquera, and Mosquera had a word with Harvey Barnes on his way back up. Chris Cameron wasn't minded to give anything. It'll be looked at now by Tim Wood, who's VAR. There is a box just on the edge of the box outside, to be honest. Take it out. I just didn't think good firm play on was right. Finale. It's just the right way to change your new fan base. Alexander Pooh. And what's that sound to the Newcastle newborn? He's got quite a lot to do with this. Read the trajectory beautifully. Better than Ampadu could. And just peeled away, led back and got the power. And it's Newcastle 1 Wolves 0. Bueno, supported by Krejci here. Felt was just a little caught in two minds. That's the clearances from Cher. Hugo Bueno tries to keep Wolves going. And that's a chance, and it's just wide. Rodrigo Gomez with the effort. He's on the end of most things that Wolves are doing around that Newcastle box. A bit more beef behind the header to get it into the corner. Murphy away with it. Murphy again. Lining it up again. Now it's Arne's turn. And he'll have a shot. And with Johnston helpless, it's fractions away from being 2-0. Sam Johnston watching like the rest of us. Needs a place to play on the field for this. So Newcastle, thinking will be they could do with another. That's pretty woeful. Livramento to Barnes. Barnes leaves his past Aquadu. Takes him on again with help from Livramento. Now Bruno Guimaraes. Now Harvey Barnes. That would have been a wonderful goal. Anyhow, straight into the Leeds game a fortnight ago. We're in that moment where the goals aren't flowing. Well, that move was flowing. Hugo Bueno takes it on. Rolled on by the Wolves coaching team. Bueno's cross, it has to be right. Up goes Livramento. Bruno Guimaraes, and that's it doing for Newcastle. That's done it for Newcastle. It's their first win of the season. They nicked it. New boy Nick Boltomada's header that has made the difference in the end. And the Wolves, well, it might turn for them. It has to turn for them. But for the first time, they've lost all of their first 4 league games of the season. Newcastle United 1, Wolves 0.
I thought we played pretty well for the first 5 minutes, but Wolves started very strong. I thought we created some really good chances, we had control of the game, but at 1-0 you'd never put the game to bed, and in fact we haven't won a game this season, then puts sort of more pressure on you in the latter stages, but I thought we defended really well.
Can't be a better debut, to be honest, and yeah, I was just like happy. I was looking in the faces and everybody was looking at me, and I was just like happy, and yeah, also score directly a goal. It's important for a striker, and I guess yeah, I was just happy.
I have a question. Is it always possible for a team to press? How is possible for a team to be aggressive? For a team to be aggressive in the defensive transition? How is possible to win the duels if we got yellow cards? First foul, 1 yellow card for André. First foul of Crash, yellow card. First foul of Monetzi, yellow card. And spoiled our game. Spoiled our game.
Well, the big man is up to a good start, isn't he?
A great start. Big talk over the summer. Who's going to replace Isak? And Valdemar is the man to do it, hopefully. It's a brilliant start, of course. People talk about is he number 9, is he number 10? I think he's a bit of both. This is good link-up play. We might see him drop into areas like this. You see him showing for the ball, creating the space and holding it up, getting his team up the pitch, keeping it simple. Just keep an eye on him. He's showing for the ball again, Mark, on the shoulder of the defender between the lines. And I'm excited to see him play in a Newcastle shirt. I really am. And what he brings is he brings a presence to the team. They paid a lot of money for him, but I think he's still a very young player. And I think with Eddie and his staff, they can improve him. Like I suppose with Isak, they made him a better player. Even look at this when he gets the ball from Sandro. There's 4 balls. There's 4 goals there. I mean, if I don't mind, I just nick it over the top. Harvey Barnes just slightly offside and that. But again, a great bit of skill from the big man. And when you're 6'6", I wouldn't shy away from this. We've seen brilliant centre forwards. You mentioned Alan Shearer, Les Ferdinand, Duncan Ferguson. Yeah, I mean, this is. We talked about old school before with long throws. But it's not rocket science. Get the ball in the box. We've got a 6'6" striker in the box, and he'll score goals. And as he says himself, it's a perfect start in his debut. Home was done.
His movement will cause problems for centre halves.
Yeah, very difficult because as a centre back, when you've got a striker that plays up against you all the time, it keeps you switched on. But where you see him pulling up into those and drifting into those clever areas, you don't want to go in there. And then the next thing you've got to defend a big striker in the box. You can't have not only switched off a little bit and he'll punish you.
But if you follow him, then people go behind.
They've got speed in behind Newcastle, so it's a real threat now.
They've got a big few weeks coming up for Wolves. Obviously, they haven't had the start that they wanted. They've lost their first 4. All 3 promoted clubs they play between now and the end of October.
Yeah, it's a worry, I think. You don't want any games at the start. We've been there ourselves. We're just getting that first victory. It builds confidence, doesn't it? Yeah. It's a feel-good factor around the training ground. But again, you look at them fixtures, he'll look at them.
That next one's huge, isn't it? Leave that Molyneux.
Massive. Well, they're all massive, but you don't win a game. But at the same time, it's amazing what a victory can do. You can kick them on. I think Peter, I like them all. I think they'll be fine. Or I might have gone too early, Mark.
It's not what I said. Look, we present this show, you're not allowed an opinion. Trust me. Bournemouth were going for 3 straight wins when they faced Brighton, who beat Manchester City last time out. Tom Gale was at the Vitality.
Bournemouth are looking to win their opening 2 Premier League home games for the very first time. 18-year-old deadline day signing Veljko Milosavljevic comes in to make his debut. This week, Marcus Tavernier, David Brooks and James Hill all extended their contracts. A small sample size of 1 game, but Brighton are without a point and yet to score on the road. James Milner starts a Premier League match for the first time in over a year. Jan Mintze and Karu Matoma both start, despite clocking up considerable air miles during the break. Recent results suggest Brighton know exactly what's needed to get the better of Bournemouth. 5 wins across the last 6 Premier League meetings. And looking for a 3rd on the spin here today. Nielsen. Great bit of trickery. Early free kick. Shawwoods and the Brazilian have both stayed down. You can see there the Brighton youngster. He looks to plant his right foot. Gives way. So 16 seconds into kick-off, and Brighton are already forced to make a change. Go. Body pressure. On his back, quite literally. Still in the front there. Nice. The advertising hoardings. The medical staff are racing down the touchline. It's a big ask to get there, and I'm not sure that's needed from Antoine Semenyo. Pictures show that that was pretty painful. Play continues. Brighton down to 10. Senesi. Young. Distance on the header. Semenyo. Scott. Got away to score your first Premier League goal at Vitality Stadium. He's never experienced this sensation on home soil. And Alex Scott gets the cherries in front. Brighton, a man down and now a goal down. And that's operating in such a tight space there. And Alex Scott bags his first goal since New Year's Eve 2023. Oh, that's a lovely pass. Minte, has he got it under control? He has! An excellent stop from George Petrovic. The first time that Brighton have seen open grass behind the Bournemouth back line. You have to go back 13 Premier League games and mid-March for the last time Bournemouth lost a Premier League game which they scored first. That was here, a 2-1 defeat against Brentford. That's it. Flag stays down. That's it. Deep cross is a good one! On the forehead of Kanu Matoma. Great persistence here from Minte. Petrovic came, got nowhere near. It's an excellent header. Under pressure, Matoma bags his first goal of the season. Lovely. It's deflected. Matoma. Belton. Minte. Against Truffert. Through the legs of Truffert. It's been a really lively start to this second half. And Yankuba Minte, the assist for the goal, making life very difficult for Adrian Truffert. Run a bit low. That was Stavlovic. Mill. Welbeck. It was a desperate dive from George Petrovic.
Вообще не
He was certainly worried. The bounce and the dip at the end that has to serve scampering across. Go. Misplaced pass. The Brookings off his line. I don't think Tavernier has realised. To go alone. Never did. Still will be not happy. The sides have gifted a way back into this game for Bournemouth. And the long legs of Jan-Paul van Hecke give Brighton their first penalty of the season.
Penalty.
Antoine Semenyo.
Semenyo.
Antoine Semenyo!
Я тут знаю разных, знаю. Бэйла делал, знаю эту команду. Semenyo!
Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1. Semenyo. on the stretch. With enough to take the sting out of the ball. He's up against the right man who does really well. Who alters progress, but he has possession back. Wide it. Hit Van Hecken, flush in the face. No doubt about that. It's him flush in the chops. That's what it's done. Minte. One out wide. Minte. Away from Adams. Opens up. Zanetti. Got there before his goalkeeper was called upon. Yet to score this season, Yankuba Minte was certainly goal bound. And it's a third win on the spin for Andoni Iraola as Bournemouth make their best ever start to a Premier League season after 4 games. Fabian Hertzler won't be happy. This one has got away from them at full time. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1.
Andoni, a third consecutive Premier League victory. How do you feel?
Yeah, very happy with the win, because also I value a lot this win because it was against a very good team. I think the game went some moment for us, some moment for them, and it was not clear what was going to happen at the end. And to win this kind of games is always very good.
If you lose, of course, you can't say that we did enough. But I think we had chances. We controlled the game. We had the momentum, and like I said, and small margins made the difference today. And the small margins weren't on our side. We didn't make them right. So we can't say that we did enough.
It was pretty ugly. The manager did say at half-time that just get stuck into them. It's going to be ugly, but make sure when we get chances we finish. So we done that today, 3 points.
For me, watching back on the replay, it looked as though Semenyo, it was a needless shove on De Kuyper as he went into the advertising hoardings. Have you heard from the player his thoughts on what happened?
Yes, I heard from the coach, but I think sometimes it's better to say nothing.
Had a great start to the season, Bournemouth, and they used the long pass very effectively, don't they?
They do, yeah. And what I like today is the way they started off the game. They started building up from the back a little bit. So what that did was draw Brighton down. So Brighton thought they could press Bournemouth. And then what they would do is they'd just miss the press out. Instead of trying to play through it, they'd miss it out. Anton Semenyo, who normally plays on the left, was on the right today, and he was a real focal point for them. But now they're missing out the press. But what they're also doing is getting bodies around. But if they do win the first ball, or they don't win the first ball, they can pick up the second ball. So every time the ball goes long and wide and high, they get bodies around it. Here we're going to show you how they outnumber Brighton. In that little space there, it's a 4 against 3. So it's likely that they're going to pick up the ball in the second ball, and actually they're just playing for territory. So this is Evan Nilsson now on the right-hand side. It was mostly down the right-hand side, but Semenyo's just gone off the screen. Now he's in. So it was very clever the way that they did it. This is a little bit different, but again, it's a long ball into Semenyo. Again, they've picked up the second ball because they've got bodies around it, so they know where it's going to drop somewhere here. We're first to it. And then nothing, you can't take nothing away from this guy. That's the problem. Scott showing his quality. I don't know if the goalkeeper's a little bit unsighted, but great start from Bournemouth. This manager is really impressive. He doesn't waste any time. He gets the ball into dangerous areas very quickly.
But the key to that is winning this. Is make sure you have enough bodies to win the second ball.
Yeah, because he puts it in. The whole team knows going into a certain area. Let's flood that area and overload the opponent, and then we can get second ball play from there.
Okay, good start for Bournemouth. 2 games on tomorrow's match of the day. F5 Live's Premier League Sunday has commentary of both of those games. All the build-up starts from midday. 2 Women's Rugby Union World Cup quarter-finals to look forward to tomorrow, including England against Scotland from 3:30. WSL, Everton versus Spurs, is live on the iPlayer. World Athletics is on BBC 2 Tokyo tomorrow. Then highlights from the final day of the PGA from Wentworth on BBC 4.
UEFA Champions League is back on the BBC.
Highlights of every single match. And the phones, that's all the unmissable moments. It's what everybody's talking about. Not for us. Match the day, UEFA Champions League highlights. Wednesday night on BBC iPlayer.
Fulham were still looking for their first league win of the season at home to Leeds. Your commentator, Max.
Marco Silva says Fulham have been better than their points total suggests, but he can't argue about goals being a problem. So the recent capture of Kevin for a club record fee was very welcome, with the Brazilian winger beginning on the bench. Harry Wilson, who was close to a move to Leeds on deadline day for Timothy Castagna, is the one Fulham change. There are 5 for Leeds. Carl Darlow making his Premier League debut for them in goal with Lucas Perry out injured, while captain Ethan Ampadu's back after injury as Aronson, Okafor and Calvert-Lewin make up a completely different front line. Basti, hot forwards for Wilson, clever run, great control. And then in the nick of time, Pascal Strupp was there for Leeds. It's Okafor leading the counter. 2 Fulham players in his way. Okafor not getting the better of Anderson, but does win the first corner of the game for Leeds. And it comes from Stack, and Leno gets a fist to it. Lifted back in, and Calvert-Lewin's header. It's straight at Bernd Leno. Maybe a suggestion that Calvert-Lewin was in an offside position. It's right at the Fulham keeper. If Fulham don't win today, it would be just the 4th time they've failed to win any of their opening 4 games in a top division season. Doing well to stay awake at the moment. As are you if you're still watching. Calvert-Lewin, strong header. The ball was nearly in. Blomster! Big punt forwards from Darlow that Fulham didn't deal with, and Longstaff absolutely pummeled that and was just a touch too high. Finally, something to get excited about. Certainly not been raining chances here. We are desperately hoping for a change in the quality of the game. Neatly worked. Stack. You get the cross in, and at the near post, Aronson denied. Nicely worked this from Leeds. Aronson on the end of it, and the near post flick patted away by Bernd Leno. Muniz. Strap all over him. Muniz has done really well, and eventually out comes the whistle. I don't think Pascal Strupp can have any real complaints. Lukic and Wilson over it. It's Wilson! Really good save from Darlow. Fired towards the top corner by Wilson. That is Fulham's first shot this afternoon. Uncle, risky. Smith Rowe. No whistle. Smith Rowe still going. And Smith Rowe off the post. Well, Craig Paulson now gives the free kick. Leeds convinced that there was a foul here on Vogel. Play went on, and Smith Rowe hit the post, but then Craig Paulson whistled for the free kick. So here comes Fulham's world record signing. The Brazilian winger Kevin is on for Iwobi with a quarter of an hour to play. Can he bring this game to life? Kevin. Scoops in towards Sessegnon. Lukic went for the spectacular and very nearly pulled it off. Kevin, the architect here, driving towards the Leeds back line. Clever little flick in towards Sessegnon, who then flicked it into the path of Sasha Lukic. And he just didn't get enough on the effort. Kevin. Kevin's cross. Traore! We need to talk about Kevin because things have certainly improved for Fulham going forward since his introduction. That was a lovely ball in. Traore over it, but couldn't get the ball under the bar. Kevin. And again, Kevin. Brilliant save by Darlow to deny Kevin a goal on his Fulham debut. And deny Fulham the 3 points. Started the move, quick give and go, and then bent this towards the top corner. And that is a terrific piece of keeping from Carl Darlow to keep it at 0-0. Lukic with the corner with a couple of minutes of added time left. And he went through it. An own goal from Gabriel Goodmanson. Devastation for Daniel Parker, whose side have conceded deep into added time. I'm not sure what Goodmanson's up to there, but he's absolutely done his own keeper. And Leeds United cannot believe that they are going to leave here empty-handed.
Gabriel Goodmanson, was he just trying to make a clearance there? Because it seemed like a strange sort of own goal.
Difficult to explain sometimes. Of course, he's the most heartbroken player in the dressing room and really very disappointed in tears. So he doesn't need any criticism from me. He just needs an arm around the shoulder. Football can be cruel and can be heartbreaking, and sometimes you're on the lucky side today. We're definitely on the unlucky side.
First half, I think we did probably too slow. We didn't take many risks. The decisions was everything too slow, and maybe some moments when this happens, it's more difficult to break things down. I think second half we were better.
You told me that we could expect some exciting play from Kevin, and we saw that in his brief cameo. He really did sort of change the whole feel of the match, didn't he?
Yes, massive impact from him. He's still very young, but at the same time, that was the reason why I pushed the club so hard to get him here. But definitely he's a great talent and he's going to help us.
It is great as a fan when you get that first glimpse of a new signing and they deliver, and that's what Fulham fans have had this afternoon.
Not a very Brazilian name, I might add, right?
No, it's not, no.
But he's very Brazilian British football, should we say, Mark? They did it wasn't a brilliant game, but he came off the bench at like 76 minutes and really lit the game up. He's very direct, 1v1. You know, he could step over, you could say, you know, young Ronaldo perhaps getting the ball into the box. But again, he brought excitement to the Fulham fans, to the home fans. They needed a lift today, and I think this guy Kevin really give it to him. Again, he's not afraid to go up players. Again, that's a phenomenal cross, surely coming at the back post. He's done it on the outside of his foot. It's a brilliant technique. And again, watch this, he's just delighted. He's got one thing in his mind: how can I create a chance for the goal? He's off the mark, 1-2, and this is a brilliant save. And even Mark Scotland commentary goes, you know, that's a save that gets a point for Leeds, but it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. I feel for Goodmanson. I think he's just going over Tom Kearney's head. It's unlucky. I could have really well. And you see the replay here. I think Kearney jumped it, and he just missed it, and then Roden goes underneath it as well. And it just smacks off Goodmanson's head. And he doesn't know much about it, to be honest, but he needed a bit of luck for him, and they got it. And you feel for him in tears and the dressing room after, but it just shows how much it hurts him.
He's had a good one-off pre-season start to the season with Shakhtar. He scored 5 in as many games in their European qualifiers, and now we're going to be subjected to a whole season of we need to talk about Kevin Potts, which is an absolute joy. Leeds' problem isn't going to be unlucky own goals, though, is it? It's going to be scoring goals, and they've only scored a penalty so far this season in the Premier League.
Yeah, big pressure on Dominic Calvert-Lewin to deliver, to stay fit and stay on the pitch. But also, they've got to supply him with, I think he had maybe one chance today, which he probably should have done better.
It can't just be down to one man.
No, and they've all got to chip in, and they've got to create a lot more. Yes, unlucky with that today, but they're still only getting a point. They don't look like they're getting 3 points because they're not creating enough chances.
Okay, next, Everton against Aston Villa with Conor Mack.
There's just one change from the Everton team that began their win at Wolves last time out. Former Villa player Tim Irabinin comes in for Vitaly Mikalenko, who withdrew from international duty with Ukraine due to injury. Unai Emery makes 4 changes for Villa's 3-0 defeat at home to Palace. Emi Martinez returns in goal. Luca Digne plays against his old club, as both Lamar Bogart and Emi Buendia make their first starts of the campaign. New signing Harvey Elliott is on the bench. And I didn't have to receive it there. Kieran Dewsbury has been able to take it off him. It was Kay's attempted shot. This is Grealish. Vitano. Great save, Martinez. It's ready to the far side anyway.
Grealish probably in an offside position as Trusicco took the initial shot in. Everton offside, that being an appeal for penalty in there too, but because the flag was set for offside, it mitigates any penalty appeal. Jai, so the front start to the game. Ball back, right position. Jacob White just send it in. Flicked on by Keane, controlled by Beto. Sits up for Grealish. Martinez had to react. And eventually it goes out for the further time of it. It's road one, but it's so nearly effective for Everton. Stability true, 0-0. The opening week ended up to Newcastle. It's been their only Premier League point so far this new season. Jimenez moves this out to Idrissa Gueye. This is in Jai. Idrissa Gueye. Grealish. Cash tried to stand him up. Good work from Jack Grealish. Let's see into the corner of Wesley Thompson. A real good thrust to Everton's play when they surge forward. Connor's delivery. I have to tell you, not too far away at all. Was Keane's forehead. Grealish. The promise to Everton, and can they produce? It's better! Big chance. One gilt-edged opportunity in the first half, Beto. And here in the opening minutes of the second period, he's in again. Just needed a glance. Buendia gets away from Irabura. And Buendia's shot deflects, and it's going to be a corner. It's about as dangerous an opportunity as Aston Villa have had all day. Tarkowski. Grealish. Good touch. There. Looking for Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Martinez able to handle. Wants for Jacob White. And then in review. And Everton in the end for the corner. Martinez and Luca Digne colliding with each other here, the two
Меня
teammates.
только нету. Или белая, или желтая.
Martinez to push it away. Timmy Rebulo, who's never scored for Everton, trying to follow it in against his old team.
Ой, нет.
20 minutes past the stoppages to play. Yes, I'm back with it. Really shines on to it. Great save, Martinez. Michael Keane on his 200th Premier League appearance for Everton. How close is this to breaking the deadlock? Great delivery from Grealish. And what about the save? Still time. We move into 5 minutes of additional time. Grealish. Taking on Cash. Keane again. The latest in a succession of headers today from Everton's number 5. If anyone could have won this game for them today, it's Michael Keane.
If anybody I think was going to win it, it would have been us on the performance today. I thought we played really well, great intensity. We done so many good things in the game and played well. Just we couldn't quite get that finishing touch, and that's also credit to Aston Villa who defended very well.
I thought it was really good. We made it difficult for them. We were on the front foot. We pressed them really well, and I'm sure Belgium went thinking they had a really tough afternoon. So yeah, I was happy with that. I felt like we just let that final pass, that final shot, and you know, I know the boys up top are frustrated now. You know, haven't not scored a goal, so you know, we'll go back and I'm sure they'll be working hard to try and score for the next game.
We need to improve and to get confidence to play more with the ball. Again, the goalkeeper is coming back and play us too much. He saved us out of time. But I am happy because we compete and this is the first step forward.
I appreciate you're happy with the performance, but you know that there will be a lot of talk about 4 games now and no goals scored.
Yeah, yes, of course, I know it. I know it.
Does it bug you as much?
And we are going to work.
Yeah.
We are going to work and we know which side the problem we had and how we are going to come back.
We'll come on to their lack of goals very shortly, but they kept hold of him in the transfer window, Emi Martinez, and he kept Everton at bay.
Yeah, it was big news, wasn't it? Transfer deadline day. It looked like he might be going to Old Trafford or elsewhere, perhaps. But again, I think he showed why he's been voted the best goalkeeper in the world a couple of times. He brings real presence. That's a brilliant save from Beto, claws it out. But he brings presence to the team. He's got that confidence about himself. This is an even better save than you think. He stays with his leg, but takes a bit of a nick off Thompson way through. Jack gets this. He takes a nick, makes it even a better save, gets it up and away, gets some transfer. He regroup. Again, he's getting really under severe pressure there, but he deals with that. Flick on it again, but this is the save of the match off Keane. This is a brilliant save onto the bar. It's world class from Emi Martinez, and it's a big reason, you know, that they want to keep hold of him. You see this reaction at the end because I was wondering what the reaction would be like after the end of the reaction, because I don't know if he wanted to leave or the club wanted to sell him for financial reasons. But it's a really good deal. They've kept hold of him, and he showed again.
The other end of the pitch, there has to be a worry for them. It's the first time in their history they haven't scored in their first 4 league games.
And the longer it goes on, the more it becomes an issue all the time for the forward players. But they just need more sustained periods of the ball in the final third. They're not keeping hold of the ball. Ollie Watkins is so quiet today, you almost forgot he was on the pitch. Now you're looking at maybe Jadon Sancho. Can you get a tune out of him? Can Unai Emery get him going? Harvey Elliott, is he going to create? Because they're not creating enough chances at all. Hence why they haven't scored a goal.
Because they have lost so many, haven't they? Yeah, they've had a real churn in those positions.
Yeah, if you look